Wilson is here, and this is a request for contact. And ma'am, let me get your name.
Hannah Lawley.
Hannah Lawley.
Yes.
Miss Lawley, what I'm going to do is place you under oath, ma'am, and then we're going to ask Mr. Goodson to tell us where we stand in this case. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give? Your other hand. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. And you're the alleged victim, right? Okay, so listen to Mr. Goodson, because I know he's had some contact with one or both of you.
Judge, Mr. Wilson was given a conditional release on September the 18th of 2023 for a charge of battery by strangulation. There was a condition for him to have no contact with Hannah Lawley. Ms. Lawley called me on the September 25th, wishing to have contact. So I advised her to come in and fill out a contact request form if she so wished. She did come in on the 25th and fill that contact consent form out. I spoke to you on September 26th. You reviewed the complaint. You said you would allow contact by electronic means, either by text or email, for the purposes of the children's health and exchanging of the children. You had said you may allow physical contact if Mr. Wilson were to enroll in anger management counseling. If he were to enroll in anger management counseling, you would review the case upon them coming to court, in which they did this morning. I contacted them on the 26th. Both agreed to what you had said. Last Friday, Mr. Wilson contacted me, and I do have proof where he went to Hope Springs and enrolled in, it's a counseling agency here. He provided by email, Mr. Michael Barnes is the provider, sent me an email from Hope Springs Counseling Group confirming that Mr. Wilson had a initial orientation individual counseling on October 10th of 2023, and he paid $90 for that assessment. I called him I talked to you yesterday. I called Mr. Wilson and advised him that they both needed to be here this morning for you to review that. Mr. Wilson did elaborate. I think their child has a appointment in Jacksonville. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tomorrow, and that's where we are. As far as his complying with the conditional release, I've had no problem.
Thank you. So, Ms. Lawley, let me ask you this first. I noticed that you came in at the same time, which is unusual for two people who can't have contact, but you can have electronic contact. So have you had any personal contact with him?
No, but when I was waiting downstairs to get on the elevator or walk through the thing for them to metal detect me or whatever y'all do, I was standing there waiting on a man, like you had to go through a couple times.
Okay, so you just happened to, y'all drove separately up here.
I was already here and I was waiting on him, and then he got here.
Okay, so you drove separately. Okay, and you drove by yourself?
Yes,
Your vehicle's outside?
yes,
You have no idea how he got here? He drove separately or somebody dropped him off, right?
yeah.
Okay, so here's what's concerning. The reason I just didn't allow contact is because I didn't first appear this case, I'm pretty sure. But the complaint is a bad complaint. And when I say bad complaint, I didn't first appear. What I mean is it's pretty violent allegations. Now we see batteries that are just incidental touching or pushing, and then we see batteries that are more serious. He's accused of choking you on the ground and then admitting to the officer, quote, beating you up. It's what the officer says he said. So my question, I wanted to talk to you in person and let Mr. Blunt and Ms. Bremer have a chance to ask you questions. Is what you told police that night, is that accurate? What happened?
Yes.
Okay, so, but now you want to have contact with him?
Yes, well, also mainly because our children, that's the only reason. And our youngest one, our 2-month-old, I took him to the pediatrician because he's been having scares of where he can't catch his breath and around his lips will turn purple and blue. So they sent us over to the hospital a couple weeks ago to do an X-ray on his lungs. Well, his lungs were cleared. So she's sending us over to Nemours Children's Hospital in Jacksonville because they think he has laryngomalacia. And also he has to, in December, we're also getting him set up because he has to have surgery on his penis. So he's had like multiple health problems over and over, and the fact, like, you know, that's mainly why.
Poor little fella's got a lot going on, doesn't he? And he's only 2 months old, huh? Okay. And how many children do you have?
2.
How long have you been together?
3 years, almost gone on 4.
Okay. Mr. Blunt, the criminal history, I don't have a criminal history actually, but in our circuit, I see nothing. I'm going to assume that criminal history is accurate, that Mr. Wilson has nothing, and I'd like to ask him that if that's okay with you. You have any prior criminal history other than this, Mr. Wilson? Never been charged anywhere, correct?
Georgia. What do you
Okay,
have?
so,
Just domestic battery.
It's not
How long
that,
ago?
it's a misdemeanor.
are you the alleged victim in that case?
It's a misdemeanor.
Is that case over?
Yeah, that's been over.
Okay, so was he arrested?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's had a prior arrest for battery on you. What happened with that case?
Well, the reason why it was only misdemeanor is because there was no like serious.
I'm sorry, that was a poor question. When I say what happened, I meant what happened with the result? How was it disposed of?
He was it was just a misdemeanor and he got charged, with just, I think it was just simple battery is what it was.
Okay, and was he on probation? For how long?
For a year.
And he finished that?
Yeah.
So what year was that?
That was 2021, I want to say.
Okay.
2021.
Is your plan to try to work this out as a couple, or is your plan so you think the relationship's over, but you still want to have contact for purposes of getting the children to and from appointments and both of you being there for the child?
And so we don't have to go through a third party for him to see the kids. Because that is like hard with us having two kids and like he works and I've been working from home and it's just easier. If there's no like having to go through a third party just for him to see the kids. And with the appointments and us having to go to Jacksonville, like I don't see it, I guess I don't see it fair to like exclude him from his appointments, have to exclude him from his appointments and stuff in Jacksonville.
Okay, so Ms. Bremer, does the state have any questions for Ms. Lawley?
Miss Lawley, is May of 22, is that when the prior incident happened?
It was either 21 or 2022. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it was like a year or two ago.
Okay, and everything that you told law enforcement at this incident that we're here for today is the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Are you concerned for your safety
No.
going forward? Is anybody threatening you or trying to force you to drop the no contact provision? I have no other questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Lawley, let me ask you a question, and I'm going to tell you you're under oath, okay? So since we've started this proceeding, one of the bailiffs downstairs has watched the video, and they're saying that you came in the door at the same time together. It's not, as you described earlier, that you came in and was waiting on the elevator. Let me finish my question. The video shows that you came in the door together, according to what the bailiff is seeing, at the same time. Did you ride together to the courthouse?
No,
Okay. Where are you parked at, ma'am?
I'm parked over there, on the side. I don't know how to explain it from in the courthouse.
What kind of vehicle are you driving?
It's for the scan.
And you came by yourself? Okay, because where you're parked at, we have a video of the parking area. And I'm going to ask the bailiff to watch the video. And if he got out of that car, two things are going to happen. Number one, I know you lied to me and it's a possible perjury charge. Number two, he's going to go to jail for having contact with you. So for the last time, you did not ride together. Is that right? It's on video if you did. Okay.
I got,
No, that's enough. You don't need to say anything else, okay? Two things I've got to do. Number one is I've got under oath evidence that you violated the condition of no contact. Mr.
I
Blunt,
don't have no other.
you need to be quiet, ma'am. Mr. Blunt, you want to be heard on that?
Your Honor,
You want to talk to him in private?
I would prefer. to
Please,
speak with him.
please talk to him in private while I deal with her. I've got reason to believe you committed contempt of court for lying to me in response to a direct question. So I'm accusing you of criminal contempt of court for perjury, essentially. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a contempt hearing on you. Is there anything you would like to say in your defense to the allegation that you've committed perjury by lying to me about how you got up here and having contact?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know the one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm finding you guilty of contempt of court, and now we're moving to the sentencing phase. So you're about to be sentenced for contempt of court. Is there anything you want to say in response to, on behalf of yourself, in response to being found guilty of contempt? Any kind of mitigation you want to tell me? Have you ever been in jail before?
No.
Okay, you're about to go because I'm going to sentence you to 24 hours in the Jackson County Jail for perjury, for contempt of court, you need to go with the officer. Your request for contact is denied. It'll stay just like it is, electronic only. Well, we'll let you out in the morning so you can do that, man. Mr. Blunt, Mr. Wilson, I have had a brief contempt hearing on Ms. Lawley, found her in contempt of court for lying, direct criminal contempt, and sentenced her to 24 hours in the county jail.
Yes, sir.
I'm considering revoking the bond in Mr. Wilson's case, but obviously I want to give you a chance to be heard if you would like.
Your Honor, at this time, we do not wish to address the contempt. I would just ask the court to take into consideration that Mr. Adams is employed working at Grasshopper Mowing, and he has completed at least one of the online classes at the anger management, trying to satisfy the conditions.
You said Mr. Adams, you mean
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Wilson?
Mr. Wilson. I apologize.
No,
He
okay.
works for Jackson Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Blunt. Ms. Bremer, anything on the bond revocation?
Your Honor, in light of the seriousness of the charges and the fact that the defendant and the victim were together this morning, the state does request that the release be revoked.
Okay, what I'm gonna do at this time is you're gonna be taken into custody and I'm gonna, when's his next court date? Do we know that?
I don't know that. That's what, so his arraignment is set for the 7th? Yeah,
Okay.
his arraignment set for the 7th.
I'm gonna order he be held until then and let Judge Garcia decide what to do at that point. She may feel that that's sufficient punishment, but no contact means no contact. So at this point, I'm revoking your bond at least until the 7th, and you can ask Judge Garcia what she wants to do with it at that point. I want to ask him a question about the doctor's appointment.
Well, that's what I was.
Because-
with the court, I missed that part.
Do you know what time the appointment is tomorrow? I know it's in Jacksonville, she said. Do you know what time it is?
It's at 10:30 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And there's no other body that, and no one else that could take them.
I understand. I would assume a parent has to go, at least one parent.
Yes.
Chances are she's going to be the parent to go. So I'm considering letting her out early enough in the morning for her to do that. Mr. Blunt, any thoughts on that?
No, sir, Your Honor. That was his concern, as at least somebody would be able to take that child to the appointment, Your Honor.
And because of being a minor, it's probably going to be one of the parents present.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bremer, what that would mean is I have to release her early in the morning to make that daughter's appointment happen. If it's at 10:30, 10:30 is what you think? Do you have any idea if that's Eastern or
That is-
Central?
That is the actual time it is.
Is that Eastern or
It's,
Central?
I think it's that time. It's in Jacksonville.
It's 9:30. It's at least a 4-hour drive. That means she has to leave at 5:30. What if I let her out at 3 a.m.?
That would give.
No objection.
Okay, so what we need to do is I'm going to direct on Miss Lawley. Need to make sure the jail is aware of this. Actually, we need to do it in writing because I don't want no screw ups. Will you please I'll send an email that she can be released at 3 a.m. and the contempt of court will be over. So, Mr. Wilson, that will help her hopefully get that child to that doctor's appointment, have some time to get out of jail and get her there. I'll send an email after court. Yes, sir.
And will you make arrangements for one of them to make contact with the friend that's at the house watching the children right now?
Can you, Sergeant Applewhite, make sure that happens, okay? So she's gonna be out in the morning, take the child to the doctor's appointment. Judge Garcia will decide whether to let you out on your arraignment date, but you gotta follow the court order. And electronic communication is the only thing that's gonna be allowed at this point because she lied basically, and it is what it is. Yes, sir.
So he's on conditional release. I need to file an affidavit. Won't be able to vote.
He's on conditional release, not on bond. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we need to just do an order revoking his conditional release, ordering that he be held until that day. Because if that was the only contact, I could see Judge Garcia letting him back out. If there's evidence that they've been together this whole time, I could see her just leaving him there. So that'll be her call since it's her case.
Conditional release, setting.
And setting it for a hearing before Judge Garcia the same day and time as the arraignment. So Judge Garcia can do whatever she wants to do on the conditional release. She can either reinstate you on conditional release, she can revoke you conditional release and hold you without bond, or she can just set you a bond if she wishes. Those are the three options she has. All right. But she'll also address the contact at that point. Okay? Don't talk about what you've been accused of, but if you have a question, and if it's a question I can answer, I'll try. You have any questions? All right. Thank you, sir. You go with the sergeant.